Hey guys, what is going on? It is a very exciting time to be a Call of Duty fan. Of course, with the Modern Warfare 2 announcement, we've been sort of combing through the trailers and everything that has been released so far, including that little gameplay segment that they did do on one of the missions, which saw like the wet work style of thing. And we've been taking a look through this kind of thing, and we've been looking at some of the guns that have been available in those missions and all the trailers and everything else to talk about a lot of the confirmed Modern Warfare 2 guns that we have seen or we have sort of known about from sort of leaks and stuff like that. There's a lot of guns on this list that you probably would expect and some that we haven't maybe seen before. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to start off with definitely things that we have already seen, stuff that's a little bit more confirmed, and then talk about some stuff that is a little bit of speculation, maybe not as concrete. So let's jump into it here. An interesting thing about this game is actually they sort of have weapon family kinds of things, which is very interesting. It does add a little bit more depth to the gunsmith. What I mean by weapon families is, say for example, we do have the M4A1, which is of course going to be in this game. Everybody knows there's going to be an M4. We've seen it in the trailer and so on. But when you do have the M4, essentially, as I said, there are weapon families, and as you go through the unlocks and things, you will unlock eventually different variants of these weapons. So for example, there is also an MK14, which is also sort of an LMG style variant of this as well, and you can sort of build and iterate off like the base model of the weapon and have different varieties of it. So you've got like a marksman rifle style, LMG varieties, assault rifle, and so on, and just basically uses that main housing, like the initial housing of the weapon, and then sort of builds it out from there, which is actually a lot of depth, a very interesting style of a weapon. And another interesting thing about that is, of course, when you do unlock attachments for those base weapons, you actually unlock them for all of the varieties. So say you unlock a specific stock for the M4, you will have that unlocked for all of your other weapon varieties, so your MK14 and so on with the LMG varieties as well, which is a very cool addition to the game. So we did mention that the M4A1 is coming as well as the MK14. These are pretty much confirmed. We have seen these a lot of Modern Warfare games previously. Next to this is, of course, we are getting the SCAR coming back. We saw this a lot in the trailers. There's a lot of different things from the SCAR. And again, there is a lot of different variants of the SCAR as well. There's the light ones, there's the heavy ones, there's like the middle of the road style stuff. So again, we could be seeing a little bit more variety with the SCAR as well, seeing a broad amount of these in the game with your LMG varieties, with your SMG, maybe SMG might be a little bit too much there. We do again have the MP5, as we have seen. This is a very popular gun. And if you did play Modern Warfare 2019, you know this was basically the best SMG in the game for a very long time. So again, having this come back is always going to be a good thing as well. Moving back to sort of the M4 style base, we do actually know we are getting an M16 Hybrid as well. This is pretty much confirmed at this point. I believe this is going to be one of those weapons that's sort of part of the M4 family. Again, I'm not 100% sure of this, so feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But again, M16 in these games is always going to be a cool thing. If it one bursts people to the chest and up, man, this is going to be an absolute monster. I can't wait for this thing. Again, we are getting the MP7. I am super excited about this, man. If the MP7 in Modern Warfare 2 does have the Modern Warfare 3 iron sight, this is going to be the only gun I'm going to use in the game. It's such a classic, man. Like that big, like thick, short iron sight, man, just really nice, really clean from Modern Warfare 3. And if it does look anything like that, I will be very happy with the MP7 in this game. Now, we have seen two weapons that are likely placeholder variants, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what we can expect from these things. We do have the Lock 56, LACH 56, and the LACH 16, so the Lock 16. Again, I'm not 100% sure exactly what these are. They could be weapons that we did see in the trailers, and we could see this in the missions and stuff as well. I might have missed these ones, but this could be something that we did get see added to the game, and I'm very excited to see all of the weapon varieties that we can see. Again, the Pp19 Bison is something that I'm very excited to see return as well. We have seen this a couple of times already. The Pp19, very cool. The one from Modern Warfare 2019 was a little bit unexpected in the way it did perform, sort of more of a slower firing SMG with sort of a very large magazine, which is very cool. However, I would love again to see the Pp19 Bison come back from Modern Warfare 3. That thing was an absolute bullet hose with a ridiculously high fire rate and just absolute rapid. Man, you threw on rapid fire on that thing, it was like you were just chucking bullets at people ridiculously fast. One of the coolest guns they've ever added. If we do get sort of the slower firing variant, that's pretty cool as well, because that larger magazine on an SMG, very sweet. But I'd love the high fire rate version. That would be really cool too. Of course, we do have a 1911. As you can expect, there's going to be a number of different pistols in this game. Again, not super surprising with stuff like this. The 1911 is always going to be added to these games, along with some Glocks and things. Again, we're going to get some pistols. This is pretty standard knowledge. I'm very much looking forward to something like a Beagle coming back, as well as like a revolver style weapon. Do you remember the 357 revolvers with the snake shot? Oh, if that comes back, man, that was my favorite weapon in Modern Warfare 2019. I swear that was the most broken thing in the game for a very short period of time. Moving on, we have seen the FAMAS as well, which is again a very cool addition to the game. We could see that sort of burst style weapon that I believe we've seen a number of times now, but again, I would love to see something like the Black Ops FAMAS with the sort of medium damage, sort of high fire rate. Again, that would be a very cool version of this. I would love to see something like that, but again, I think we'll probably get something like the burst style weapon of this. The Bryson 500 is a weapon that I'm not 100% sure exactly what is here. Maybe do a little bit more Googling on that. I'm not 100% sure exactly what that could be, but this is, again, something that has been seen a number of different times by a lot of different people here. The AK-47, we did see this already. This was one of those ones that was on the trailer on the boat with the moving shipping containers. We did see the AK-47. I would love this to have been the AN-94 because, again, that is one of my absolute favorite weapons in Call of Duty history. Again, just that hyper burst, man. Those first few bullets coming out ridiculously fast, hitting that target and doing a lot of damage, and then the sort of slower fire rate after that. That would be absolutely fantastic to see get added to the game as well. But again, it could just be part of the AK family. That could be another weapon variant that we do see past the AK-47 family. But again, we'll have to wait and see with this thing. But again, the AK-47 is basically confirmed at this point, a super common weapon in these games. We are very likely to see the TAR-21, which is that bullpup style rifle. I cannot remember the name of it from Modern Warfare 2019, but it came out at the same time, or I remember using it on Crash. I can't remember exactly what it was called. I'm gonna actually look it up here. It was the Ram 7. The Ram 7 was what I was thinking of. That thing was an absolute monster. All the attachments were very cool. And again, because it is a bullpup style weapon, it does have the potential to sort of have these extra variants and stuff like that. We could see a little bit more of this, but again, TAR-21 or the Ram 7 could come back again. Very cool addition to the game. We have also seen the LMG Fight Light, which is pretty cool. Again, another LMG build on this kind of thing. Just a sort of slower moving, slower handling, hard hitting LMG style weapon. Always going to be a cool addition to these games. Not the best weapon category sort of from Call of Duty previously, but as long as it hits hard, as long as it sort of gets that very good accuracy, man, this thing is going to be pretty decent as well. And we do have the .458 Socom on top of this. We have seen this is going to be, I believe, another one of those M4 variants. I think, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head if I saw that was going to be confirmed or not, but this is basically sort of another marksman rifle style build. Big old fat rounds in this thing, absolutely chunks people. But again, I believe this is going to be built off the M4 style of sort of hybrid-y thing, you know, the weapon families kind of deal. Another one that we have already seen here is the P90 here. Again, this is another very common weapon in these games. Just a big old magazine, high fire at SMG, sort of low-ish damage, but high enough fire rate to get the job done. A very cool addition. I believe we have seen a sort of paratrooper version of the AK-74U, which apparently is going to be added to this game as well. One of the favorite guns in Call of Duty history. Really sweet. We also saw that there was a Vector in one of the operator's hands as well on one of the wet work missions. Again, very cool. Super high fire rate thing, man. This was in Modern Warfare 2019. One of the later additions to the game. Wasn't super great, but it definitely was a high fire rate monster. And again, the Chris Vector getting added back to the game. Really cool as well. There is a number of different MPXs getting added to the game. The SIG MXC has been held by a couple of different operators in these trailers as well, which is super cool. Love seeing these kind of weapons come back. I'm pretty confident we've seen the Honey Badger a number of different times in this kind of trailers and things. I mean, I'm very excited for that to come back. We did sort of see that in the M13 in Modern Warfare 2019, and then we could add the big old silence barrel on it. But I mean, just a Honey Badger in this game would be really sweet too. Apparently there's going to be something known as the MCX Spear. Again, I'm not 100% sure exactly what this is going to be, but some sort of MCX sort of variant, again, similar to sort of those weapon families that we have seen previously. There's going to be a Glock 17, as you could probably expect. However, Glock never really gives their name away in these games, so we're not 100% sure exactly what this is going to be called, but it usually does have a fake generic name. It's going to line up with the pistols in Call of Duty history. We did also see that there was a Model 680 style of shotgun, you know, the big pump shotgun that one of the operators did have in the trailer. Again, that's coming back to the game. Again, a very common shotgun in these games. I would very much like to see the Model 1887s come back. That'd be such a cool addition to the game, so people can see just how broken they were in the original game, and then they nerf them and they make them not fun anymore, so we'll have to wait and see with that. And another one that is part of the MP5 family is very likely to be the MP5 SD. Again, this silenced version of the MP5, being able to slap on that big silenced barrel is really cool. We did see this a lot in Modern Warfare 2019 when there was those additions that had sort of silence properties and things, and they turned them into other weapons. Also, there is a little bit of speculation surrounding the ACR being at the start of the first reveal trailer that they did. Seen a lot of conversation about this, whether it actually is the ACR, whether it's a SCAR, whether it's a different gun completely, like a Kilo or something like that. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what this is going to be, but it could be the ACR. We're not 100% sure just yet. Now, I'm sure there is a bunch of other weapons that I have missed from a lot of these trailers and stuff. We have been sort of fine-tooth combing some of these videos and stuff that we've seen, and if you did think that I did miss anything, make sure you do let me know in the comments. I'm sure there is more content going to be released very, very soon in terms of trailers and stuff to be released yet, and we will eventually see more guns get added to this list. But again, as I said, if you did think I did miss anything, make sure you let me know. Again, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on as well, because we are going to be staying up to date with all of the Modern Warfare 2 content, hopefully coming very, very soon. And when the game does drop on October 28th, we are going to be switching over the channel, of course, to featuring mostly Modern Warfare 2 content, maybe a little bit of Vanguard stuff if it's still popular. I mean, it's never been that popular, but you know what I mean. But again, thanks for watching this one, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!